Hi guys, Vanessa here. So today's video is going to be me showing you how to apply your foundation looking like this, very dewy, fresh, even skin-like. Because I don't know about you guys, but every time the winter comes around, my skin gets very dry, even to the point where I get a little bit of a dry patchy spots around the face. So to prevent that, today I use the ordinary rose hip oil. This is my favorite facial oil for my skincare routine, but also for my foundation routine, because sometimes my skin will get dry. Like I said, and during the cold winter months, my face will sometimes feel like I'm getting a little bit of dry patches around the nose. So to prevent that, I'm going to be showing you how I use and incorporate the rose hip oil into my routine. So if you guys would like to see how I achieve this nice base, then just keep on watching. So I feel like this video is going to be helpful for those of you that have dry skin, or even if you don't have dry skin like myself. I have more of a combination skin, but I do find during the winter months my skin can kind of get a little bit dry in some areas, even a little patchy. So I feel like I have a couple of tricks and tips to be able to help out your foundation and making your base look smooth. If you do have dry skin, or even like I said, during these winter months, you sometimes can get a little bit more of a dull look and you kind of want to bring back in that hydration into the skin. So to do that, I just washed my face. My under eyes may look a little dark. That's because I did take off some eyeliner and mascara off the eyes. But I do want to go in first with the ordinary rose hip oil. This rose hip oil I use in my skincare routine, which, by the way, if you guys want a skincare routine, please let me know in the comments down below and I can film that for you guys. But besides being in my skin care routine, I do like to use this for bringing hydration back into the skin. This is actually rich in provitamin A, and it's known to even prevent signs of aging. It helps with hydration, and who doesn't want that, right? So I'm going to apply some onto the skin. It's known to bring back hydration back to the skin. So if your skin is getting like those dry, patchy little areas, like maybe around the nose, above the mouth, things like that, you can go in with any kind of serum or facial oil, and I feel like you will help combat that problem. So first things first, before applying your base, your foundation, you always want to make sure you are well prepping your skin, especially during these winter months. You also want to make sure you hit around the nose, because that's where I typically find that I get very dry. It can my foundation could kind of start to crack if I don't moisturize well. So once you get that hydration back into the skin, you are helping your foundation look more smooth. You would want to go in, totally optional, you would want to go in with your moisturizer. I'm going to use my It Cosmetics moisturizer as I always use. So I'm going to be applying that next. Okay, so it's all about well prepping the skin. So next you would go in with your primer. So let's say my favorite primer right here is the Becca First Light primer. I have continued to repurchase this over and over and over. I do like this one. Another primer that I like is the Cover FX Mattifying. No, sorry, it's not mattifying. It's the poreless one. It's basically to kind of smooth out any pores like around the T-zone, the nose, things like that. But for this video, I did want to use the e.l.f. Poreless Play Primer, because I feel like it does the exact same thing as the Cover FX one. It's basically to kind of perfect your pores, and kind of give you that nice base to the skin, prepping your skin for that foundation. So I feel like it's a big old controversy between, should I apply primer before applying foundation, or should I just skip it? If you well prep the skin with a facial facial serum and moisturizer and all that, I feel like you don't necessarily need to go in with the primer. For this video, I did want to use a more affordable option than going in with a high-end primer, just because I feel like I kind of want to show you what the end result of the skin is versus me saying that I use a high-end primer, if that makes sense. Let's just keep it affordable, and then I still want to show you the end result. By the way, I was gonna say, don't feel like you need to spend a lot on a facial serum. This facial serum, I believe, is like $8, so very inexpensive. I've been using it for well over about a year. I want to say even 2 years. This brand they sell at Ulta. It's called The Ordinary. You guys should definitely check it out because they do have very inexpensive facial serums and also skincare. So I hit that. So see how my skin's looking very dewy? It's all about prepping the skin before applying foundation. So I've been testing out ever since I did the video on my Rare Beauty first impressions on this foundation. I kind of had to play with it. I've been playing with it off camera, and I've been noticing that it's very mattifying. And I quite didn't really like that because during the winter I already have problems with kind of dry, patchy skin sometimes. So what I noticed is that this has been helping me to do this kind of routine before applying this foundation. And also I've been putting on a dewy setting spray after, if I feel like I still need the extra hydration. So I'm going to blend this out, and then I'm going to show you guys what the skin looks like with this first layer of foundation. I like to go in a little at a time because I want to see what the coverage is going to be like, and if I need to apply more, I will apply more where I need it on the areas, focus it on the areas that I need it, rather than applying a whole layer all around the face, just so that I'm not applying too much product, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is what the skin is currently looking like. I'm going to apply more foundation right about here, because you can kind of see like my freckles. It's funny because I was watching Jaclyn Hill here on YouTube. I was watching a tutorial she was doing. I think it was a tutorial. Yeah, it was. And she was talking about how her earrings get dirty. Like when you're applying foundation, if you apply your earrings before applying foundation, you always want to make sure to clean them. And I was like, oh yeah, I really have to make sure I'm like cleaning my earrings, because sometimes the foundation can stick onto the metals of your earrings and it looks crazy. So just a reminder, if you guys put your earrings on before foundation, don't forget to clean them. I'm going to go in now with my concealer. And this is also the Rare Beauty concealer. And I'm going to blend that out with my sponge. Another tip I have, if you are wanting to keep in moisture locked into the skin, use a wet, damp sponge or beauty blender. It does help with the hydration. It doesn't make the foundation look so mattifying like a foundation brush can do. So I feel like you get more moisture with applying your foundation with a sponge. Okay, so this is where things can kind of get tricky, because to set your concealer, you would want to go in with a setting powder. I'm going to use my Beauty Bakery setting powder. This is where things can get tricky. The reason I say that is because if you're putting powder, you're going to make your skin go back to looking very matte and drying. So when you're applying powder and you don't want to emphasize those dry patches on your face, you kind of want to go very minimal on the powder. So pat or kind of dab out your concealer again, once again, right before going in with your powder, so you're not setting any of those creases or creasing that your eyelids may get with the concealer. Go in with very minimal. I know it doesn't look minimal on the sponge, but very light. Here. You kind of want to just apply the powder where the eyelid folds. Very, very gently. Under the eye. Right where that creasing happens. And then I like to go where I get the most oily. And if I need to, no, I think that's good. Okay, that's already enough. So I'm gonna wipe that off right away with my fluffy brush. Because all I want to do is set. I don't want to mattify anything. I don't want things looking dry again. So I'll wipe it right off. We're not gonna bake nothing crazy. So that's it. So we're still looking a little bit, dewy around the face. Even between the brows, I left it without powder just to kind of keep that nice skin-like finish and still very dewy. Okay? So you don't want to go overboard with the powder. Okay, for contour, I'm going to be using my E4 by Morphe. I'm going to go in with this bronzer. What is this called? This is a Morphe bronzer. It's called Celebrante. I'm just going to touch both sides of the bronzer with my brush. I've never tried this bronzer before, and I definitely went in with too much. We can fix it right now. When I say fixing that, I'm gonna just kind of go around it. And I'm going to fix my bronzer by dabbing along the edges of the contour. Just so I feel like I get the right placement and not go too low or too high with that contour. Like if you've seen the baking method, you would typically go in with the powder and you would make that line right underneath the contour. You don't really want to do that when you're trying to look natural and very dewy like, because that just defeats the whole purpose. That's like the total opposite of what you want. So I'm going in just with the sponge. It'll come together once I add the blush, of course. And then you can go back in if you feel like you took way too much off. Okay. So I like that, but of course it's very pigmented, so I would want to not go so heavy-handed next time. But I do like that. I'll test that out more. And then for highlight, I'm going to go in with my Becca Prosecco Pop. I pulled this guy out because I haven't tried her in a while. I do like Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill, but I wanted to try her out again. So I think I've mentioned this before in my previous videos. So for the most part, I like to apply my highlight before my blush because you can get that line appearance when you're applying your highlight last on top of the blush. So kind of cohere everything together, I like to apply the blush on top of the highlight. And then for blush, I'm going in with this Burt's Bees. I just got this one. This is in the shade Shy Pink. All right, let me show you what it looks like. So what she looks like. And I'm only applying, as you see, the topper half of my brush, so I don't kind of disturb that bronzer. Ooh, cute. Wow, she's pretty. She's pretty. So what I was saying about the highlight, yeah, you just don't want to make the highlight look like you're applying it over the skin. You want to look like that glow's coming out from within. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and then going in for brows, I've been loving this. I did a recent e.l.f. haul, and I picked up this brow lift pencil brush for the brows, and I did like it, so I have been using her over my Benefit Gimme Brow Pencil, and I've been using it over my NYX micro brow pencil. So this one has definitely been in the rotation, but as of recently I've been using nothing but this. Okay, I'm back from applying my brows off camera. So this is what they look like. I feel like the color is really nice on this brow pencil because as much as it gives me depth to my brows, it gives me more of a color. It's very neutral, which it is neutral or neutral brown. Very affordable. I was gonna say very inaffordable. Very inexpensive, very affordable. Does the job. Nice spoolie. Talking about spoolie, quick rant here. This spoolie is nice and solid. My first impression was like, wow, that's a good spoolie. Because, tell me if I'm not the only one, Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. The spoolie, I mean, I repurchased that brush over and over and over and over again. That brow pencil, I mean, not brush. But that spoolie, that brush, has broken off my brow pencil numerous times. Like, numerous times. And I'm like, I can't have that. Spend like over $20 for a brow pencil and my spoolie to break off. What's up with that? Let me know if I'm the only one. So ever since that, I stopped buying Anastasia's brow pencil, and I've been buying the NYX micro brow, the which I've used multiple times, the Benefit Gimme Brow, love. The spoolie doesn't break off on me, even though it's high end, but the spoolie stays, so it works. And then my new love, my new fave. But Anastasia Beverly Hills needs to work on that spoolie because it breaks. And I'm not even that heavy-handed. Like, what? Okay. I'm going to apply my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back from applying some mascara. I used my favorite drugstore mascara, which is the Lash Paradise. Lash Paradise. I do enjoy that mascara. It's basically the one I always only wear, or the Lash Lift by Maybelline, as I mentioned before my previous videos. But I want to talk to you guys about lips, because the last step is to apply some lipstick or lip gloss, whatever your preference is. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about was, I don't know about you guys, but in the winter months, your lips can get flaky, they can get chapped, and they don't look cute when you wear a lipstick or a liquid lipstick. Like, that's the worst thing to wear during the winter is a liquid lip, because you're just emphasizing texture on your lips. So what I like to go in with is a lip gloss. This one is my favorite one at the moment. I picked up the Artist Couture, some of his plush pouts. They had a really good deal during the Black Friday sale, so I picked them up. I've been loving these. This is the shade Uncensored. It's a pretty nude. I will show you what it looks like on the back of my hand. But anytime you go in with a liquid lip or something matte, it's going to emphasize texture, so you want to go in with a lip gloss, because I feel like you're just adding that hydration. So this is Uncensored 2.0, but I wanted to show you one of my favorite glosses. It's actually a collab with Colourpop with Kathleen Lights. This is in the shade Moonchild. It's beautiful. Just a little bit more peachy tone than a more of a warmer nude, but it's one of my favorites. So this is Moonchild up top, and on the bottom is Uncensored. So very same, but different.
Same. but different, but still safe.
My lips are super dry at the moment as we speak. I'm gonna go in with my NYX lip liner. Okay, I am back, and you wouldn't even know that I have dry, crusty lips at the moment. Just saying, you wouldn't even notice because they look juicy with some lip gloss. That's like your best friend when your lips are looking dry, and they give you that extra hydration. So yeah. So in my opinion, the skin is still looking very skin-like. It's not looking so, it's a little tacky, but nothing crazy. But it's not looking drying whatsoever. So that facial oil really helped bring in the moisture and lock in the hydration. So this is where I would go in with the setting spray. This is one that I love by Morphe. This is a continuous setting spray. But I have used the e.l.f. Dewy setting spray on days that I feel like, okay, I still need even more hydration if a foundation is really super matte, like the Fenty Beauty one. I still will do this method. I will go in and prep the skin with a primer, with my facial oil, moisturize everything, and I still feel like I would sometimes go in with my e.l.f. Dewy setting mist. The only thing I don't like about this is, look at this. That's very abrasive. I don't like the mister on this setting spray, but I do love the price point. Super inexpensive, and I do like that it does do what it claims, which is it does give you that dewiness to the skin. But since I feel like we are doing good, the skin's still looking very dewy. Oh, that's another thing I like to do. I also like to take off the makeup on my birthmark because I feel like it kind of doesn't show the cakiness that's on the skin. I want it to look very fresh, so I will do that too. I will remove the makeup that's sitting on top of there. So let me go in with some setting spray. Now that setting spray is so good. Look at that. Woo! She's fine. Very fine. I like it. So yeah, guys, this is the final product. This is what the skin looks like when you apply a nice face oil with whichever one you like. It could be high-end, expensive, high-end, or budget-friendly, which is one by The Ordinary. I definitely recommend you guys checking out The Ordinary at Ulta because it's inexpensive. So let's say you're new to skin serums or facial oils, you do maybe want to just try them out. You can't go wrong by going that route and checking out that brand because it's inexpensive. It's like $8, so super worth it in my opinion. Okay guys, so that completes the look for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these types of videos of a little bit of tips and tricks along the way of how to improve your skin during these cold winter months. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel because there's definitely more content like this coming up in the future. And yeah, I love you guys, and until my next video. Bye!